Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters, for the perfect grace, perfect clarity, and perfect peace that's here for each of us right now. Thank you to the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity right now to feel encompassed in grace, to feel, know, see, and participate in the loving care the angels and the guides are providing for each of us as individuals and for the planet itself. We choose, like changing channels on the TV, we choose to tap into or tune into the peace channel, the love channel. We choose to be done with the hate and fear and threat channel, and we go to the love channel. And on the love channel, there's great programming, great joy, great fun. If we could just breathe in and actually do that, let's just switch channels, funk, click. And if we could notice, and they've given this image before, Ashtar, the ascended master Ashtar, way out in space, sending beams of love, love, love continuously, continuous prayer, continuous intention, continual held space. If we could just breathe into that and notice Saint Germain on the surface of the earth, helping like the orchestra conductor to let it go to the perfect places, including right where you are. So if we could just breathe into that happening, and if we could breathe in on our next breath like it's our first breath, let's indeed just fill our lives with fresh air right now. And let's do that again. And let's just breathe in normally. And let's let an inhale of light happen. Let's very simply notice light changing where you are, there being an even deeper illumination right where you are. And if we could let anything that feels, their word dark, anything that feels obscured in your psyche, in the world, in your home, in your space, let's let everything be illuminated so there is no dark, there is no shadow. We can let everything have light and notice just with that mere act that most things get healed, most things have comprehension through awareness, and that we're bringing organization and clarity and great peace to every single aspect of our lives, past, present, future. So we'll very simply notice the positive, ultimately, the positive upheaval of emotion that we're all experiencing, letting things from the past be healed. Let's let that happen through cognition. And if we could just say out loud, I'm healing right now. Every part of me is being healed right now. I am part of the solution. Wonderful. If we could just take in a breath, and if we could very simply and lovingly notice um, Ashtar way up in space, let's notice what Ashtar says directly to you from that distance. Good looking guy, lots of fun. If we could just breathe in. Wonderful. And this is trust what you got, perhaps color, perhaps feeling, perhaps a message. And if we could just also notice his additional message of, as human beings on the planet dealing with other human beings and life, we have to focus in on the physical plane. We could also, in the work that we do here, open up to the non-physical plane, into energy, into bigness. Let's very simply let the two things become one right now, and let everything in your life that feels small, that feels very focused, become big and have a whole lot of light shined on it and within it. A lot of light. Let's let everything become big. And, and in an only positive way, let's let um, emotions become big, not overwhelming, but just become big. And perhaps in that bigness and with the light, there's more clarity, there's more healing that can happen. So we'll just breathe into that. And if we could notice as that work happens that Ashtar and Saint Germain are working on a vertical plane, let's notice goddesses Freya, especially, and also Lady Portia, working on a horizontal plane, like the surface of the earth, like the two sides of the structure that you're in. If we could just breathe in and let those two goddesses care for you right now. And if we could notice them working, well, the wording that Freya is using is dynamic healing. If we could notice them perhaps working with some vigor, working with some might, and if we could very simply let them reorganize your emotional landscape so the heavy stones are distributed, they're not a boulder. So if we could breathe into the lightening that is happening along with the light itself. So let's very simply just breathe into that. Let's indeed just pay attention to the bigness of the vertical energy from Ashtar and Saint Germain and the perhaps intensity in the most positive way and healing way from Freya and Lady Portia. And in the most charitable way, their word, let's very simply notice all this healing happening in places where there might be conflict on the planet, like the Middle East. And if we could notice in that dynamic and other dynamics where there's violence, that there is no thinking happening, it's only reaction. Let's very simply let the angels, the guides, the goddesses bring great consciousness, great peace, and great intervention to those dynamics. In the Middle East, in America and American government, in the medical world, letting the focus go to human beings thriving, animals thriving, the earth itself thriving, recognizing how easy it is to get along, recognizing how easy it is to coexist, recognizing that we all want two things, peace and love. So we'll just breathe in. And let's very simply feel like delegating a task that you know will get done. Let's very simply delegate to the angels world peace. Let's come back to what's here right now with the bigness of the healing that is here, the might in which these two goddesses are working. And let's notice the arrival, and with the wording completing the star, let's notice the arrival of Mary Magdalene and a friend. Let's just notice that you'll know who the friend is. So let's notice Mary Magdalene and her friend completing the star, her wording, with Freya and Lady Portia and Saint Germain and Ashtar. And if we could just breathe in and notice that she wonderfully and embraces you as a friend, that you are her friend, and she is your friend. If we could just breathe in. And if we could notice the two things, if we could notice the ointment, her word, that she applies to your body or your psyche or both. Let's let her attend to you, attend to anything that isn't feeling good, be that a lower back, be that a nervous system, be that decades of stress, be that trauma. Let's let her take care of you, nourish you, heal you. And in the most positive way, if we could feel her not being dainty, her just diving in and letting her help. We'll notice her physicality. We'll notice her confidence. And we'll notice how your cells respond to her presence. Let's let her re-engage with that ointment. Let's let that ointment go to things, let's say, like cancer, like trauma, your brain, your nervous system, your digestive system, your reproductive system, your eyes, all of your senses, all of your bones, your spine, your mouth, especially the inside of your mouth and the back of your throat and your throat chakra. And if we could notice her asking you to very gently to focus on her, what she's showing, let's not look to the side to, well, what's happening in that conflict in the world? What about this? Let's very simply focus on her, on Mary Magdalene, as she takes care of you. Through knowing, through telepathy, we'll know that Freya and Lady Portia continue their work on the horizontal earth plane. We'll know with great clarity that Ashtar and Saint Germain are beaming light and love everywhere, constantly. We'll know that the angels are at work. So let's notice that our task in all of this is to place our attention, our full attention, on Mary Magdalene, who is healing you right now. And we'll notice that her focus on you itself, her attention toward you itself is a healing. Wonderful. Let's just take in a breath. And anything, be it in your awareness or not, anything that tends to distract you from good, anything that might feel like a mistake or a wrong done to you, let's very simply let those things be illuminated in the light. Let's let Mary Magdalene place her ointment on those things in the past. And let's come back to this present moment. Let's do so with breath. And just being right here, you and her. And let's indeed let her hold you so her head is close to your head. And we'll perhaps notice the with her finger, the simple symbol that she might be tracing on your forehead, on your cheek, on your nose. This is an activation, she says. We don't need to know what it is. We could feel what's an activation of love. We could just feel this care and having positive disregard for all the problems of the world. Let's very simply receive care. If we could very simply, as part of this connection and this healing with Mary Magdalene, if we could say out loud, I am part of the earth. I am of the earth. I am here. And my range is wide. I am right on time. I refuse to dismiss others. My generation adds as other generations add. Wonderful. If we could just breathe in. Wonderful. We'll just breathe in. And let's very simply and lovingly let Mary Magdalene smile at you, or notice her smiling at you, better said. And let's let her lift things off of you and place them elsewhere. Wonderful. So we'll just breathe in. And let's indeed notice, we've been clear that Mary Magdalene considers you a friend. Let's notice the friend that she brought with her. Let's notice, one, you knowing who that friend is, and two, let's notice what that friend contributes to this moment. And if we could say out loud to the world, everything is okay. If we could say out loud to Mary Magdalene, thank you for loving me. If we could say out loud to all the guides and angels, thank you for helping. I see, feel, hear, and know what you have done. Thank you for continuing to shower love. Wonderful. Let's just take another breath. Let's notice you right where you are. with great resources within you, around you, applied to you, applied for you. We'll take note of the constant prayer coming from the heavens from Ashtar, the constant distribution of prayer and love from Saint Germain. The goddess is working on the earth plane. Mary Magdalene caring for you and loving you right now. Her friend at work too. And the angels dealing with world matters. Let's notice there being space for you to have the experience you want to have today. And great things being present. And we celebrate this right now. And we're so grateful for this right now. And with wonderful generosity, great peace of mind, and an expansion of joy, we thank the presence of Mother, Father, God, and all the archangels and ascended masters. We thank as well the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for wonderful joy. We thank you for this opportunity to feel good. And we celebrate light, love, happiness, and joy right now. And we're so grateful to be fully, fully, fully alive right now and to revel in goodness. And to all the guides who came forward, we thank them, especially Mary Magdalene, and we celebrate our connection with these guides and the richness, the deepening, and the actual help that is here. And with generosity, peace, and ease, we quite simply and lovingly ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time. And so it is.